schools? More than Proclus, but...
I don't really know. I know it's studied quite a bit in Golden West College.
Yeah.
For some reason. That's where I teach. No. This is the kind of literature that is as profound as it is beautiful, as inspiring.
Beautiful to read.
Right. As it is capable of moving the soul of men to something higher. It's the kind of thing our society needs. It always needs it. And we live in an age now when all of this is being published and it's available to us. There was a time when this was closed. You couldn't get into it. Now it's all out. Paperbacks. This volume, which I took it from. Beautiful edition. Paperback. There's also a 6-volume work out now, just translated from the Loeb Library. The last volume's just been translated. And he calls it entering into the mysteries. Here, let me give you a good quote. I think he's quite right. It's making the mysteries available to mankind. On page 87. Therefore, it is so very difficult to describe this vision. For how can we present it? How can we present as different from us what seemed while we were contemplating it no other than ourselves, but perfect at oneness with us? This doubtless is what is back of the injunction of the mystery religions, which prohibit revelation of the uninitiated. The divine is not expressible, so the initiate is forbidden to speak of it to anyone who has not been fortunate enough to have beheld it himself. The vision, in any case, did not imply duality. The man who saw was identical with what he saw. Hence, he did not see it, but rather was one with it. If only he could preserve the memory of what it was, while thus absorbed into the one, he could possess within himself an image of what it was. In that state he attained unity, nothing within him or without affecting diversity. When he made his ascent, there was within him no disturbance, no anger, emotion, desire, reason, or thought. Actually, he was no longer himself, but swept away and filled with the divine. Still, solitary, at rest, not turning to the side or even towards himself. Utter rest. Actually, so to say, become rest itself. He has risen above beauty. He's passed even beyond the choir of virtues. Right? So, I think our people may, with all of this literature, start living on a higher, more profound level. I think it's inevitable.
How can you with all the TV? Everybody would rather watch TV than...
All we need is a couple of nuts in every generation. We don't need too many. Right? I mean, the word has to get out. Well, what I would like to see is one of these sitcoms, you know, like one of the figures show up every once in a while who represents this kind of thought and the kind of effect it has on whatever is going on. You know, just some rational person coming in with a more profound view of life, walking in the door and walking out and doing something in the, you know, they owe him or her. Right, so that is built in, that's all. Might even make them more interesting. I think so. I think so. I think so.
I'd watch it.
Yeah. Who would have thought there was a place for Doonesbury?
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
These ideas are coming out. I saw the movie Powder over the weekend. Have you seen that?
No, no,
It's about this person whose mother was struck by lightning when she was pregnant with him. And after he's born, it turns out that he has just incredible intelligence off the scale, and he can read others' thoughts. And he understands that that we're not separate. And he's asked, well, what do you see when you look at other people? And he said, well, they think they're separate, but they're not. They have something up here that makes them feel like they're separate. And he could understand, what they were thinking. It was someplace where they shot a deer. Someone was hunting, and he put his hand on the deer as it was dying, and then he put his other hand and held the man who had shot it. And so the other man, he was feeling everything the deer was feeling, and so then the other man who had shot it could also feel everything the deer was feeling in its death agonies. And so he went home. The man who had shot the deer went home and, of course, got rid of all his guns and would never shoot again because he could feel the agony of the other. So these kinds of things are coming out.
Isn't it?
It's a beautiful movie. I recommend it.
When you compare them against the movies in my life, my early life, half of them, even at the time, weren't worth going to see. Stylized Hollywood stars, the stories were always stylized, predictable. Had nothing in them, really, for me.
The Razor's Edge, where the character in there in the book itself, Red Plotinus, it wasn't really captured in the film.
No.
Right?
That's right.
And actually, they did a remake of it too, and it wasn't captured in that one either. So.
No. Matter of fact, in the end of that Razor's Edge, the last chapter has a beautiful summary of Hindu philosophy.
Quote in here, the flight of the lone to the alone, is in.
Pardon?
That quote, the flight of the lone to the alone,
Yes,
is in
the Razor's Edge.
Right.
In the book.
In the book,
Yeah.
but not in the movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think this is quite an interesting age. Is really. I mean, this is like within 100 miles of where we're sitting. I'm sure we can find any number of people who claim all kinds of psychics, energies floating around them, insight, states of mind, spirituality. And among all of them are likely to be a couple of genuine ones. You can even get something from a fool.
The fool is a zero into tarot cards.
Yes. Yeah. If you're lucky enough.
But after you go from the loan to the loan, then you still have to come back to the marketplace.
Well, you see, what's going to happen, you see, if you just want last thought on that, is that through philosophy, through this kind of philosophy, it re-emphasizes in a dramatic way the whole subject of beauty and the natural need for a language that can express it. And that language is the language of beauty and love. That gives back a vitality and an integrity to language. It cuts through all relativity. And that's so important for any culture that's going to live, create. And that's why I think it's if we can, hold back the ecological mess in front of us, there may be a nice place for mankind to grow and develop, because we have all the literature, we have the people, we have the interests.
But what were you saying about the language of love?
Language of love is the language that is used to explore this realm.
Oh, okay. And you say that then
Brings
cuts
back,
through relativity?
doesn't it?
Using that language, yes.
Yeah.
Because it has all those ideas of union and
Yeah.